Hello and welcome to our 20th chat of our raw vegan exercise on Your Health, Your Way. I'm Kurt, and tonight I'll be talking with Lisa about how sleep affects our health.
Yeah.
Lisa, how did you sleep last night and how was your day today?
Well, I slept pretty well last night. I think it helps that we go to bed about by 10 o'clock, if not
Right.
sooner. You
We
tend
do.
to go much sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Since going raw vegan, I have been remembering my dreams more when I wake up in the morning, and what I like to do is write them down because I think a lot of information comes through in our dreams, a lot of symbolism. And one thing I was thinking about this morning when I woke up is I was watching a video, and that video, along with what we were talking about yesterday with the eczema that you're experiencing, made me remember that when I did the raw vegan food plan a year and a half ago for 6 months, I did more juicing than I've been doing now. Now I'm doing more of the smoothies. And smoothies are cost effective. You know, it's much cheaper to have smoothies. You use a lot less produce than if you juice, and they're convenient. It's easy to make, easy to clean up, and you get the fiber. But I think that at night I'm going to start having a juice because it gives the digestive system a break, and it gets more into the detox aspect of health. The smoothies are great during the day. I love the energy that they give me, the mental and the physical energy to go to work, to be focused mentally, and then to go to the gym. But I think at night I'm going to start maybe having a nice 32-ounce juice or however much I need. So
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah. How are you doing?
Actually, I'm doing well, and I think it's really interesting that you mentioned about dreams. One of the things that I've kind of noticed since I've started this raw vegan program, you might remember that I'm actually doing 30 days as 100% raw vegan. We are now on day 20, and I've noticed since the beginning that my dreams have become actually more clear. And I do remember them a little bit better as well. So that's kind of an interesting piece of information there. The eczema is still pretty fired up.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable and it itches, but it's not a serious symptom. I think we are fortunate in that neither of us went into this plan with any serious health conditions.
Yeah.
And had we done so, we probably would be experiencing more healing crises than this. But it's interesting to be going through this, and it's a good experience.
Now, when I did raw vegan the first time, I had come from just being one of my numerous times of being sick with allergic asthma.
Absolutely.
And doing raw vegan really made a difference. I mean, I didn't suffer like what I consider major healing crisis, but it really healed me. So I didn't mean to interrupt. So
no, that's great.
That's
a really good piece of information because I think some people will experience different things, and this is a good example about how we both experience slightly different things by going down similar paths. So so this is just a healing crisis, and it's like I said, it's itchy and uncomfortable, but it's not severe. I started my day with a smoothie as I usually do. Kept it real simple today with just some apples and mixed berries in my smoothie. For a mid-morning snack, I had a sandwich bag full of organic baby carrots. And for lunch, you made me a wonderful big salad that I really enjoyed. And I also had a smoothie with that. The smoothie that I had for lunch, I tried something a little different. I kind of stuck mostly with herbs, green herbs. I tried rosemary and parsley and dill and celery, some other things, ginger, and it kind of added some body to it with broccoli. And it was an intense thing to drink up, but I think it definitely had some benefits for me. And this afternoon, my digestive system was a little more active, so that's good. I did not have nuts today or anything with nuts in it, so happy about that. I had another smoothie this afternoon after work, after I had some time to exercise. So all in all, a pretty good day, and I should be able to rest a little bit better tonight.
Super. Now, I do want to add about the smoothies, because a lot of people might think that, are those the smoothies I have to drink? I don't want to put rosemary and all these things in it. Do you want to mention about how you like
absolutely. So I've always liked to kind of experiment on myself with different things, and the smoothies is one way that I can do that. So some of the things that I try are a little outlandish and they're a little intense and rough to taste, but it doesn't mean that that's what you got to do to get healthy or be a raw vegan. If you like fruit smoothies that are tasting sweet, you can make fruit smoothies that taste sweet and stick with that. If you like something that has a more tart taste, stick with that. So, do what works for you. I just, like I said, I like to try different things and see, whether it's good or bad tasting or, has a positive or negative effect on my health. I just like to try things out and see, where I'm at as I go through.
It's great to do.
So, but like I mentioned, I think this will help me rest well tonight. And understanding the effects of sleep on our health is actually very important. So, what are some of the ways that a good night's sleep can keep us healthy?
Well, sleep has many benefits. For one thing, it helps to boost the immune system, to reduce inflammation in the body, allows the body to heal, and it promotes muscle recovery, especially after exercise. That's really important. If you work out a lot and you don't get good sleep, it might bring you down in the gym. Mm-hmm. It also keeps our heart and our blood vessels healthy, and it really helps to strengthen and to rest the glands. We have so many glands that control the majority of the processes in our bodies. We have the pituitary gland, the pineal, thyroid, the adrenals, and all these glands need to rest in order to be able to function properly.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Now, we've addressed this before. Good health isn't just a physical manifestation, is it?
No, not at all. It definitely impacts us emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Sleep actually helps us to reduce stress and depression. It helps us to increase focus and concentration, memory and attention. It promotes longevity. People that sleep well do well in terms of how long they live. And this is a time where our minds are doing nothing, where we're not thinking. And this is a time where we dream and we travel and we connect with spirit and with other worlds. And even if you're not in the esoteric belief system, it's still, just ignore that. It still has a lot of positive benefits that I think we all know of. And I think one thing we can all agree on is that good sleep inspires creativity.
I mean, yes.
How often have we heard about these inventors and geniuses that will come up with their inventions and their ideas first thing when they awaken, or in the middle of the night through a dream, or even when going for a walk or being in the shower. And the common thread that exists in all those scenarios is that the brain is not working, the brain is relaxed. So the answers that exist already out there in the ethereal, is that the way you say it? Ethereal? Are allowed to come in. So you just allow things to flow. And racking our brain does not help us come up with answers, but good sleep and relaxation can help us come up with them.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And everybody really kind of needs a creative outlet, and a good night's rest is really a good way to connect with that.
Absolutely.
So, now, what are some of the symptoms that we can encounter if we don't get a good night's rest?
Well, our immune system can get weak, and that can lead to a host of physical ailments. It can lead to heart problems, high blood pressure, soreness in the joints and the muscles, increased stress and depression, and it affects our mind too. It decreased memory, attention, focus, creativity. How often do we go to work and we'll say, "Oh, I'm making all these mistakes. Sorry I didn't sleep well last night."
Well, that's been me.
And that's definitely related oftentimes.
And specifically, we talked about stress yesterday, pretty in detail. So how can that affect our sleep patterns?
Well, stress affects us when we're trying to go to sleep by continuously having thoughts pop in our minds and keeping us from sleeping, or we wake up in the middle of the night obsessively worrying about something. And stress and sleep are also related in that when we feel stress, we oftentimes feel it in our physical body. Sometimes people might hold stress in their neck, in their traps, in the trapezius muscles, or in the stomach, or in the head. headache oftentimes. So those things can interfere with sleep as well.
Okay. So what can we do to ensure that we get good quality sleep?
Well, let's go through some do's and don'ts
Sure.
regarding sleep. First of all, caffeine revs up not only our bodies, but our minds. So try to avoid caffeine, and if you have to have it, try to stop it about 2 or 3 in the afternoon so that your body has time to eliminate it.
Okay.
A lot of times people will consume alcohol because it helps them relax. What I think happens is the blood sugar goes down and then you crash.
Right.
So alcohol does not promote a natural sleep. It gives you a very restless sleep. And you wake up still probably not feeling too well.
Right. Or you wake up in the middle of the night even.
And then not being able to go back to sleep. Exactly. Now, much the same with prescription medications that are sleep aids. I used to see clients as a hypnotherapist back in my hometown of New Orleans, and I can't tell you how many clients came to me and said, hey, my doctor gave me this medication to sleep because I have all this stress, but I feel groggy and foggy headed. I don't feel rested when I wake up, and sometimes I don't even sleep well. So there are natural ways that you can help yourself to get better sleep. And also avoid exercise and activities that heat up your body and that keep you revved up right before going to bed. Our bodies need to be at a certain temperature and at a certain kind of chill level in order to be able to fall asleep. And most importantly, and this is so difficult for a lot of us, is turn off the gadgets way before you go to sleep. The TVs, the iPads, the phones, the video games, all of that, we talked yesterday, revs up our adrenaline. So we want to start kind of chilling out long before we get ready to go to sleep. And if you don't get a good night's sleep, you're going to wake up tired, and then what do? Reach for the caffeine, reach for the coffee, reach for the stimulating food, the sugar, the donuts, the bagels, all that sugar to stimulate us awake. And how often does that happen? Now, here are some do's. Okay, first of all, what we're doing, try to eat as much raw, vegan, healthy food as you possibly can. Exercise, of course, but not too close to bedtime. Stretching is a great way to help release tension before going to bed. And keep the place that you sleep in set aside for sleep and sex. And well, sex also helps you to sleep better, so that's also a good thing. And your sleeping environment should be clean, comfortable, calming and cozy, the 4 C's. We tend to use a sound machine when we go to sleep that does nature sounds, and that really helps a lot. Also, really important is to try to be asleep by 10 o'clock and try to wake up naturally with the sunlight. This is so hard for people that, when we have to get up early in the morning and go to work and we wake up to an alarm. But from 10 p.m. to 8 in the morning, that's when the glands that we mentioned before are resting and recovering. So what is best to do is about 9:30 at night, start winding down, start dimming the lights, turn off the TV, put away the papers and the iPhones and the iPods and all this, and start getting yourself trained and ready to lights out by 10 o'clock. And that can be really helpful.
Right.
And one thing that I've always recommended to people is have a notebook or paper and pen next to your bed for a couple of reasons. One of them is when we go to bed at night, we often start thinking about, oh, what I didn't do today, what I should have done, what I need to do tomorrow, oh, what if this happens? And all these thoughts are just going through our minds endlessly, preventing us from sleeping. Well, if you when you have that thought, you just write it down, then it's off of your brain and onto a piece of paper so that you don't have to think about it. You can deal with it the next day when you wake up instead of it preventing you from sleeping. Also, when you get up in the middle of the night or in the morning and you tend to remember the dreams better, write them down. Have maybe a little pen light, a little flashlight that you can just turn over in the middle of the night under your sheets or whatever and jot down some keywords from your dreams, because a lot of information could be psychic information, could be symbolic information, could be information from our subconscious, comes up in our sleep state. So that's what I would recommend for the do's and the don'ts.
That's a fantastic idea, really it is. And so many of us probably never thought of even doing something like that before. So yeah, it's an excellent suggestion. Now, we've talked about sleep in reference to nighttime. But I've worked night shift, and I've also worked rotating shifts in the past,
yeah.
as you remember.
I remember that.
And
fun.
I had to sleep during the day. Now, is there any time? I'm sorry. Is there any reason that we need to keep our sleep patterns nocturnal?
Yes. Well, I remember looking back, you used to have a hard time just with your mood and
I did.
and being able to sleep. I don't even think you slept really well.
No, I think, well, I would come home, early in the morning if I was on night shift and sleep, until about lunchtime. So I certainly wasn't getting enough sleep.
Yes.
And when I was sleeping, it wasn't very restful sleep.
And then the dogs are up wanting, like life is happening. The dogs want to play and all this stuff, and you just like, I want to sleep, and it's just not happening.
Right.
Well, we are not nocturnal animals. What the cats are. Yeah.
Yeah.
My cat is.
Yeah,
he wants to
some
keep
are,
me
some
up all
are
night.
not, I guess.
But we're not nocturnal animals. So people that work night shifts, I mean, some people do great at night. They really thrive, and that's wonderful. But most people, they don't do well working night shifts. And that is because our bodies release melatonin at night, and melatonin makes us sleepy. And when we come home from a night shift, the sunlight's out. I mean, I guess you could try to darken your shades, but it's just not a natural kind of a sleep. And exposure to bright light before going to bed weakens melatonin release. This could be exposure to bright light from the sunlight from coming home late, or no matter what time you go to sleep at night, if you have the light from your TV, your computer, your cell phones, that all emits a type of blue light that weakens the melatonin release. So be sure to start winding down by 9:30 as much as you can. Be in bed, lights out by 10 o'clock, and try to wake up naturally, or at least in the most gentle way possible, with something relaxing to wake you up.
Wonderful. All great suggestions. So to summarize then, good health and good sleep are really symbiotic. And so if you want to sleep well, take care of your health. If you want good health, take care of your sleep.
Absolutely.
Right. So in our next session, we're going to talk about how we can simplify our lives, which ought to help us sleep a little better.
Yeah, definitely.
This is Your Health, Your Way.
Buenas noches.
And fade out.